Hey guys, welcome to tonight's webinar. So tonight we're talking all about how to create a low tox environment in your home through your household and personal care products, and just learning a little bit more about what is actually in all the stuff we use, and then heaps of simple DIY recipes. Alison, do you just want to pop yourself on mute so we don't get any background noise or anything? And I'll get you to unmute yourself when I introduce you. So we're going to have Alison and hopefully Amy on tonight's call. We've just had a few technical difficulties. But yeah, thanks for being on here, guys. So let me first share a little bit about what is in some of the household and personal care products that we use that are damaging to us. So one of the most common ingredients that comes up that's a real problem is something called phthalates, Phthalates, pronounced phthalates. And they're found in many fragrance household products such as air fresheners, dish soap, toilet paper, and they've been linked to diabetes, obesity, liver and breast cancer, and also they're a hormone disruptor, so they can affect fertility and development, as well as linked to attention and behavioural disorders in children. So due to proprietary laws, companies don't have to disclose what's in their scents, so you won't even see it on the label. If you see the word fragrance on a label, there's a good chance phthalates are present, and they are known as endocrine or hormonal disruptors. So men with higher phthalate compounds in their blood had correspondingly reduced sperm counts, and according to a 2003 study conducted by researchers for the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and the Harvard School of Public Health, research has confirmed that leaching of phthalates and other endocrine disrupting chemicals into our waterways is actually altering the biology of fish, making male fish more female. Sorry, I was kind of a bit messy there. So it's actually making male fish more female, all the phthalates that are found in our waterways, which is pretty disturbing. So although exposure to phthalates mainly occurs through inhalation, it can also happen through skin contact. So our skin actually does drink stuff in. So a lot of people think if they just cover up their face while they're cleaning, that's fine. But you are getting it through skin contact as well, which is a massive concern. And a lot of people say, oh, it's only a little bit of exposure at a time, so it's fine. But the problem is the long-term exposure to these things over time can really have a long-term damaging effect. So another main thing is coal tar dyes. I don't know if you've noticed, but the cleaning products in the supermarket, if you go in there, you'll see like blue and fluoro green, fluoro yellow and bright pink. And a lot of these things are dyed with coal tar, which is derived from petrochemicals and may be contaminated with trace amounts of heavy metals like arsenic, cadmium and lead. And there is concern that these synthetic dyes may cause cancer, and heavy metals can harm the nervous system and cause other adverse health effects. So dyes in cleaning products can be absorbed through the skin again, or ingested in the case of soap residue on dishes. They're also completely unnecessary to the actual cleaning function of the product, and they're only used to make the product more visually appealing to consumers. So it's totally crazy that we're, just using them to make things look pretty, and that they're actually really damaging to our health. Again, synthetic fragrances are also associated with autism and ADD and ADHD. And it's not only the person that's wearing fragrance, like if you're wearing perfume, that's affected, but also the indoor quality and those sharing the space with someone wearing perfume, for example, are impacted. So yeah, it's basically like secondhand smoke from tobacco smokers, but it's perfume. So if you get on a lift with someone, if you go into a supermarket, like I really struggle to go into David Jones or any of those places, the supermarket, the cleaning aisle, because I can feel the effects instantly from inhaling them. So another big concern is the fragrances in things like fabric softeners and clothes detergents. I used to wonder why I had such itchy skin all the time, and I would always sneeze 200 times before I even had breakfast. And, because of the use of fragrances in the detergent, in the soap, in perfumes, in air fresheners, in those little things that we put in our cars, we're basically like awash with fragrances 24 hours a day. Even sleeping in our sheets at night, if they've been washed in detergents and fabric softeners, we're just around fragrances all the time. So we're involuntary breathing contaminated air, even if we're not choosing to wear fragrance products, if we're out in an environment where others are. So if we can educate more and more people and clear the air and prioritize human health instead of economic interests, because there is a way to do all this stuff without having the toxic endocrine disrupting rubbish. So according to the Environmental Working Group, which is a really good resource to use, it's called the EWG, and you can just Google it, 72% of products with the ingredient fragrance do contain endocrine disruptors. Again, that's what we talked about earlier, the phthalates. And the National Academy of Sciences, working with an expert panel, stated that there may be cancer-causing chemicals in fragrance recipes, but there is no way for the consumer to make informed decisions. Up to 95% of these chemicals are derived from petrochemicals that are known to cause cancer, birth defects, nervous system disorders, asthma, and allergies. And to make matters even worse for the public, many products labeled as unscented are actually the fragrance product with the addition of another masking fragrance. Can you believe the insanity of that? So the use of these synthetic chemicals to mimic natural fragrances has become an insidious underminer of health, but they are not the only subversive in the fragrance industry. So again, unfortunately, the term natural fragrance or essential oil in an ingredient list doesn't even mean that it's safe either. So in another study analyzing 25 top-selling products, green, natural, and organic fragrance products emitted just as many hazardous chemicals as regular fragrance products. That's because most essential oils in consumer products are processed with a toxic solvent. And in addition, these essential oils contain terpenes such as pine and citrus oils, react with the ozone in surrounding air to create secondary pollutants such as formaldehyde, acetaldehyde, I'm so good at pronouncing these things, acetone, and ultrafine particles. The National Eczema Association of America also recognizes the following as problematic. So soaps and detergents are problematic for eczema, shampoos, dishwashing liquids, bubble bath, disinfectants like chlorine. And I continue to hear, like when people have kids with eczema and they go to a dermatologist, they're told to give them children bleach baths. Have you guys heard of this still as a practice thing today? It is really insane. I literally heard it again last week. Someone up north had a little kid with eczema and they were told to give their child a bleach bath. Yeah, cool. That's going to really help long term, especially. Not toxic at all. So again, while many argue that all of these chemicals are safe in small amounts, it's the combination and gradual cumulative effects of long-term repeated exposure that are the real concern. So just on a note, when I was talking about essential oils before, you know, being a part of the problem, that doesn't include the essential oils that I use and recommend, which are doTERRA essential oils, because our oils are not processed with solvents. They're 100% pure. They do not contain pesticides, synthetics, fillers, heavy metals, etc. So unfortunately, even the essential oil industry is super unregulated. So it's important to choose your products, and that's why I use doTERRA, because they're the purest essential oils in the world, and there's no rubbish in them. And we source them from where they thrive globally, cutting out the middlemen, paying people fair. Yeah, and they're the purest oils in the world, as I mentioned. So I'd love to introduce to you guys Amy Innes. She's one of the diamond leaders on our team. She's from Happy Belly, Healthy Mind. She is a legend. And Amy, just share with us a little bit about why you became interested in going low tox in your home and why that's really important to you.
Thanks, Jessie. Really excited to be here. This is an area that I am incredibly passionate about. For me, reducing toxins around the home was one of the reasons I got involved with essential oils. When I first, I literally didn't know all the things with all of this. I'd studied to be a health coach a couple of years back, and it was starting to, but I was mainly focusing on food and exercise, and I wasn't really thinking about what I was using around my home and what I was using on my skin. And it wasn't until we were trying for a baby, we had a little bit of trouble, and there was a few things going on that I was becoming sort of hyper aware of everything that I was using around the home. And the penny for me really dropped when I was cleaning my shower with bleach. And then I realized how silly it was that I was trying to do all these things but wasn't keeping the main source that we were cleaning our home, using everywhere. I wasn't even thinking about that. So I remember at the time, Jessie, you were talking a lot about reducing toxins around the home, and it really was something for me to reach out to you and say, you know, how can I get started? And from there, I remember feeling incredibly overwhelmed, and this is something I really want to make a point about, is when you first start your journey with changing things around the home, you can feel incredibly overwhelmed. It can feel like you've got a list a mile long, you feel like you're doing everything wrong. I remember it felt like every time I turned around, I was doing something wrong. And what I want to say here is it's not about doing everything at once. It's not about changing everything at once, because if you try to do that, you will literally, your mind will just explode and you'll throw it all out the window because it'll be way too hard. The idea about this webinar is to give you guys some really simple options. And what I want to say here is, you know, focus on changing one thing a week. You know, if you can change one thing a week for a year, that's 52 things you've changed at the end of the year. And that is huge change. So please don't feel that you need to do huge amounts at once. Just go step by step and take baby steps. So yeah, so here I am today. I don't actually use any chemical cleaners in my home at all. And I feel incredibly empowered. We've got a little 2-year-old now. And it's actually nice when he's at the age where he wants to lick everything. So if he licks the shower screen, he doesn't get any bleach. So it's really, for me, it's nice having some really natural options around the home now. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of options that are really simple. We're going to talk today about a glass cleaner, a surface spray, and also an air freshener, and just some really simple ways to make them. Now, what I want to mention is you want to make sure that whenever you're making your sprays, choose glass. Essential oils can actually, if you use plastic, essential oils can actually draw the toxins out of the plastic. So please make sure you use glass. Also, when you're looking for sprays, you will find it is best to go with a chemical resistant spray, because if you are using vinegar in your cleaners, which we're going to have a couple of recipes, vinegar can actually damage that, and they won't actually spray. They'll fuse up. A brand that I recommend for the heavy duty, it's called Canyon. I think from memory they're about $5 each, but these you can reuse and use them over and over and over, and it works really well. So so I'll start with the window cleaner. So the window cleaner is super easy to make, and this webinar actually came at a perfect time because I'm due to fill up all of my cleaners. So basically all you need, I recommend great things to get started are some cleaning vinegar or just white vinegar. You don't need to get the most expensive brand if it's just using for cleaning. So I just use the Coles white vinegar. Water, and also lemon essential oil. So lemon essential oil is incredible for glass. So whenever you use lemon essential oil, makes everything really sparkly. So you can even use it in your dishwasher, adding a drop of lemon to your dishwasher, and that will act like a rinse aid. So you don't have to worry about, you know, the rinse aid that makes everything sparkly. The lemon essential oil will do that. But it's perfect to use for your glass. We've got glass splashback, so it's perfect for that. I have to say that my windows are not often the cleanest part of my house. I have a 2-year-old and I have dogs. So they're always quite messy, but when I do get around to cleaning it, I love that I've got something that works. It's really natural. So I just make that up by doing I get a spray bottle. A funnel is really handy, and then I literally just pour in, I'm going to pour it over the sink, but just fill it up 50-50 of water and vinegar. Fill in the water first and then add the vinegar. And then we're going to add 10 drops of lemon essential oil. And that's pretty much it. That is 9, 10. So that's your glass cleaner. And that's a 500 ml spray, so that'll last a really long time. The next recipe that I love doing that's really, really simple is a surface spray. So for a surface spray, there's a couple of options that you can go with. I do recommend, my favorite oils for using in my surface spray are lemon. And what these oils that I'm talking about, they actually help to protect against environmental threats. So we've got tea tree. So tea tree is fantastic for that. And Onguard, which is our protective blend. So Onguard is actually great for immune support as well. So it's lovely using in your cleaning sprays because you're also getting the benefits from that as well. And it has a great blend of different oils. So we've got in here wild orange, clove, cinnamon leaf and cinnamon bark, and eucalyptus and rosemary. And then again, I just do 50-50 of the water and the vinegar. What you can also do, which this is a nice option, you can even add a little bit of Castile Soap. So Castile Soap is a naturally derived soap that's made with organic oils. So coconut oil, olive oil, hemp oil, jojoba, citric acid. So it's a really, really natural. I use Dr. Bronner's. You can usually get them online. And basically, if I'm wanting to use that, I just put a little squirt of that in the bottle as well. Water. And I have to admit, I am not one to make really precise measurements. So for me, you know, it doesn't have to be 50-50 each way. You know, I usually will choose about 10 drops of each oil if I'm making a cleaner. Really, really simple. You guys don't have to, you know, be perfect with it. It will still work. So I'm just going to add 10 of each of those. I also like to add a drop of oregano because oregano is incredible for cleaning as well. And don't worry, your house will not smell like a pizza shop, I can promise you. The other oils will mask that because you'll be using other oils in there as well.
Loving it, Amy. One thing we like to do is literally, well, actually, Daryl has been doing this because I don't make any of these products myself. But 5 drops of all of the citrus oils. So 5 drops grapefruit, 5 drops lemon, 5 drops lime, 5 drops wild orange, 5 drops Onguard. And then you could dry 5 drops of eucalyptus or peppermint on top of that for good measure. And it's just like the aroma of all the citrus oils with the peppermint and eucalyptus is really, yeah, it smells amazing. Like the whole place smells amazing. So you can have fun with different like experiments and recipes, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And that citrus blend, I actually love using something really similar for the air freshener. So air freshener is really, really simple to make. Now, I don't recommend using vinegar in your air freshener. What I do recommend, though, is getting your hands on some witch hazel. So witch hazel acts as an emulsifier, and when you use witch hazel with water and the oils, it actually emulsifies the oil and the water together so the oils don't float on the top. The vinegar does the same thing as well. But basically, I just add 2 tablespoons in my 500 ml. I'm just going to squirt that in. You can be really, if you're wanting to measure, you can, but as I said, you don't need to. And then I just top it with water. And basically, you can get really creative with the smells. So, yeah, you can use the citrus blend that Jessie was just talking about, or you can even, if you can't be bothered to sort of work out a different blend, you can use, say, some of the blends that you already have, like Citrus Bliss, Elevation. So, you know, when you actually go to the toilet, you're getting a bit of a mood boost as well. You can use peppermint and wild orange, really nice together. One of my favorites, which is a new one for me, is tangerine and lavender. I love those 2 together, but you can really chop and change for what's for you. But yeah, but I'm not going to fill that one up, and yeah. So you guys can have a bit of a play, but that's pretty much the most of it with those 3. If you're looking for some nice labels, you can get these from Wild Essence. Many of you know that we run our Wild Essence, and we'll pop in the link about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my other favorite combos, thanks for Amy, awesome recipes, and definitely jump on Wild Essence because not only do they give you the beautiful labels, but you actually get the recipes as well, recipe cards with them, and they have lots of roller bottle blends and awesome stuff on there as well. But also one of my other favorite combos for air freshener particularly is lemongrass and purify because it actually helps energetically cleanse as well. So if you take a massive dump and you're releasing all that stuff, you can energetically release it as well by spraying around purify and lemongrass. It's a good energetic cleanser. But also if you have certain people around your house that you need to energetically cleanse, you can just be casually air freshening and yeah, wiping up all that energy. So it's a pretty cool combo.
Nice.
We also have Alison Bartolo with us this evening from Healthy Munchkins, another diamond leader in our team. Total legend and amazing at the toxin-free stuff. So welcome, Alison.
Thanks so much, Jessie. I hope you can hear me. So yeah, that I absolutely love, and everything you've been doing is what we do in our home as well. So for me, I was drawn to the cleaning side of things really from an economical stance, because I had the essential oils and we were having such incredible experiences in terms of, you know, all the common ailments that you get in the home and being able to use them for all our health needs. And I'm a little bit of a Scrooge and I like to be able to use the same oils for many, many things across the home. So when I learned that I could, you know, make all my own cleaning products with them, that sort of really sounded very appealing to me. And I love that I can use lemon, you know, for an irritated throat, but I can also use it to take sticky labels off jars and use it in my glass cleaner. And you know, there's just so many things I can clean my jewelry. There's just so many things I can use one bottle of oil for, and it's literally 5 cents a drop. So when I started to do that, then I kind of woke up maybe to the actual health benefits of using these low tox recipes. So at the time when I was really learning about them, our smallest child he was just 9 months old, and you know, we were doing things like, we didn't used to, like, we would wipe down his high chair and like the tabletop thing, I don't know what you call it, the tray, and I would spray that, and I didn't even bother used to giving him a plate because he would just chuck it on the floor literally. So we used to, like, you know, I'd spray down the high chair and then put his food directly on that, and I started to wake up and think, well, hang on, is this okay? Like, is this all right? Then I'm putting stuff that literally says like not safe to ingest and poison, and I actually don't even know what's in here. It doesn't even tell me what the ingredients are. And, you know, is this all right? And the same, I sort of started to wake up when I was spraying down my chopping board and then putting food on it to chop up, and I'm like, is this all right? And so I started to research it and realized, no, this is really not okay. This is not all right at all. And you know, the stuff that is in the shops, it's not out there to protect us. It's not out there on our side. It's out there to make money, and I can actually save a lot of money and be doing so much better for my health. So I was really excited to learn how cheap it was, and I was really excited to learn how effective it was, because personally my experience of natural things like in the supermarkets, I find them very expensive and I find they're pretty rubbish. Like, they don't feel like they really work. Whereas when I started making all my own, especially with the like boost of these essential oils, they just work so effectively, and it really was quite a surprise for me. So absolutely loved that. So one of the things that really helped me, because I was really not awake or aware or knowledgeable, is a little app, and it's called Chemical Maze, or the Chemical Maze. And it was just absolutely fantastic, because you can literally, you download it, it's $7 I think, but you can literally look up any ingredient that you're not sure of, because sometimes natural ingredients, like even essential oils, like their chemical name of it, like it sounds really complicated, and I'm like, well, is that a good one or is that a bad one? I'm not really sure. So this just lays it all out. You literally type in whatever the ingredient is, and it's so fantastic, like walking around the shops with my kids, and you know, they want a Disney princess yogurt or whatever off the shelf, and I'm like, well, let's look at the ingredients on the back, and we can just type in so they can see the letters are the same, and it literally comes up with either a happy face or a sad face, like it's a like red sad face or a really green happy face, and sometimes it's orange in between if there's not enough science to back it up yet. So if my kids see like the double red face or the single red face, they're like, Mummy, I don't want that. And that's not me telling them they can't have it, which is just absolutely genius. So I'd really recommend downloading that for $7. It just has helped me to learn about what's okay and what's not okay. So today I'm going to show you really simply how to make a few things. So mouthwash, some perfume, and just like a mattress or a carpet cleaner, and some ant repellent as well. Just all really super simple. So when it came to mouthwash, I tried to look up the ingredients. It was actually, we ran out of mouthwash, and it was my husband that was like, well, I bet we can just make our own out of our essential oils. And I was like, what a genius thing to do. This is going to save money. But then I started researching, you know, what the ingredients in the brand that we were buying was, and, you know, looking it up in my app and on Google, and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe we've been putting this in our mouth. You can look up some of the ingredients yourself. What's really interesting is that it's actually hard to find what the ingredients are, because again, like Jessie said, they don't have to, for formulation protection laws, they don't have to tell you what's in the ingredients. They only have to tell you what the active ingredients, and of course when you go to their website, they just go, oh, it's essential oils. Well, I can assure you that they're rubbish essential oils, and there's a lot of other stuff in there other than essential oils. So there's things like benzoic acid and sodium benzoate, and they're all petroleum based, and again, they have all sorts of things that they can trigger asthma and allergies and learning disorders. They can be skin irritant and trigger eczema and all sorts of things. Again, they're plastered with coal tar dyes, which is the colouring that there's absolutely completely unnecessary. So it is so simple to make your own. The first time we did it, my husband literally grabbed an like empty bourbon bottle, which is not, you know, not very healthy, but that's what we used. But now we have a nice amber glass bottle. Again, we want to be using the glass to make sure that the essential oils don't break it down. Now ours is, you know, more than half full at the moment, so I'm not going to do this, but basically all you do is just put filtered water in there, super simple. And then we're just going to use 3 oils. You can just use 2, so peppermint, spearmint and Onguard. So a lot of people just start with the starter kit with doTERRA, and they already have the peppermint and the Onguard in there. So peppermint and spearmint have similar properties, just really minty fresh. They have such a wow, like, you know, how a lot of mouthwash gives you such a burst of freshness in your mouth. Well, these give you exactly that, you know, really invigorating, really feel fresh and clean. The spearmint just is a little bit sweeter, so it just kind of takes a little bit of that bite off, but you can just do it with the peppermint. And then the Onguard is the one that Amy was talking about. This is so fantastic for immune support. And you really want to be making sure that your mouth is as clean as possible. And as Amy said, one of the oils in this blend is clove. And a lot of people know that clove is so healthy for oral care. And it's also the world's most powerful antioxidant. So it's really helping us stabilize those free radicals in our body and help keeping us really well. So a super cheap alternative. It's literally about 1/4 of the price of the stuff you buy in the shops. And, you know, obviously just not got any of that rubbish in it. So the next thing I want to show you is a mattress or a carpet cleaner.
How many drops?
Oh, sorry. Yes, good point. So this is a litre bottle, and I would put 15 drops of peppermint, 15 drops of peppermint, 15 drops of spearmint, and 10 of the Onguard, because the Onguard is quite, like the clove and cinnamon are quite bitey as well. So that's the ratio I use for a litre. If you had, like the first time we did it, we used slightly less because the bottle was a 750ml bottle. But I would just say, like with anything with the oils, start smaller, like start with less in case it's too overwhelming. And then you can always add in a little bit more. And just remember, because it's water and oil, you do have to shake it up before each time that you use it.
Okay, sorry, how many drops of Onguard did you use?
10.
10. And where did you get that?
Yeah. Well, this is actually an empty colloidal silver bottle, if anyone buys colloidal silver from health food stores. But you can buy bottles like this just online. I'm not really sure where, just even if you just Google amber 1 litre glass bottle. I'm not sure if either of you have any recommendations of where to get something like that. But yeah, we just use an empty one. Cool, all good. So yeah, moving on to the mattress and shoe or carpet cleaner. This is really easy and really effective. So you just literally grab some bicarb soda, bicarb soda, which I like to get the big, huge packs from Costco because it works out about half the price of the economy stuff at the supermarket. So that big bag, that's like a 6 kilo bag, and it costs $11 or something. It's really cheap, but you can just buy it from the supermarket. That's totally fine. And you just get a jar, just an empty old jar, and just fill it, like, I don't know, 2/3, 3/4, whatever you want. And just depending on how much in there, I would put probably 15 drops of Purify in here. So Purify again is one, who was talking about it, Amy or Jessie? So Purify is the cleansing blend. So yeah, very good at cleansing those smells. So it's got lemon, Siberian fir, citronella, lime, tea tree, and cilantro. And I just love it. I use it in all my cleaning stuff. I use it in my fabric softener. I use it in my own washing powder. It just eliminates odors like in a couple of seconds. It's so powerful. A really potent one, and it really gets rid of smells and really helps to keep things at bay. So I would just add this in here, just 15 drops, but I can't count and talk at the same time. There we go. And you just literally shake that up. Now, ideally, you want to leave that overnight so that it can really absorb the oil into the bicarb and then use it. But I'm never organized enough to know that I'm going to be cleaning the following day. So I usually literally just do that, and it works just great. So you can either like go and stab some holes in the top of the jar and just shake it over your carpet or your mattress or into your shoes, or you can just use a sieve and, you know, take off the lid and shake that over. And what that does, it's just going to really, you know, a lot of mattresses and things are filled with mites. So dust mites feed on our dead skin cells, and so we really want to kill them off. So we shake that over, and then you want to leave it for about an hour or so to work its magic, and then come and just vacuum that up. So you can do that. I would recommend just spot testing an area. If you're going to be using it on your sofa or anything like that, just do a little patch just to make sure it's not going to cause any damage, but it's never caused any damage for anything of mine. But that's really effective way, and it just smells amazing afterwards, and you know that it just feels really clean. My top tip for the mattress one is to add some lavender or lavender piece in there if you're doing your children's mattresses, so that they have a nice wafting sleepiness infused mattress, which is what we want. So the next thing is perfume. So like Jessie said, like perfumes are really awful. I personally, when I go into department store or like duty free, my throat literally closes up. It just feels painful now. Now that we just don't have those sorts of things in our home, my body's hypersensitive to them, and I really notice them. And even again, that secondhand fragrance, it's known as the new secondhand smoke. I really feel it when people around me are wearing a lot of synthetic things. So again, they don't have to show you what's in the ingredients, like Jessie said. So they've got access to about 5,000 different synthetic chemicals, and they can just pick and choose whichever they want, and they don't have to tell you what they are, which is pretty scary. And a lot of those are phthalates and all the things we talked about. So it's so much safer and cheaper to make your own. So you kind of can do whatever you like here, like in terms of which essential oils to use. It's just purely what do you like the smell of. You can start to look at the emotional benefits of the oils as well, and really tap into how you want to be feeling. So that's a really nice way to do it. So there's a few different ways that you can make perfumes. The first one is to get a like 100 ml spritzer bottle like this. So these have a little spray, and they just spray out water. So you just fill that up to about the neck of it, so about 90 mils, I guess, just with filtered water again. And then you just put in maybe 30 drops of whichever oils you want. So you might have 3 different oils and put 10 drops each in them. Again, you just want to shake it up. You might want to use the witch hazel if that's if you want it to flow better, like Amy was talking about. So in terms of doing that, the cost is, if you were to use some of the cheaper citrus oils, it's literally going to cost you about $1.50 for 100 mils worth of perfume. Like, it's just so cheap. And you can just choose what you want. Even if it's a more, really expensive oils, it's literally not going to be more than $10, $15 for a whole 100 mil spray of that. So really super economical, but you smell absolutely amazing, and you can guarantee that people are going to be asking you, oh my god, you smell amazing, what is that? I like it when it's in this little spritzer, because you can put it over your clothes, and it's just going to sit in the fabric of your clothing, and it's just going to carry around that smell all day. So that's a really nice way to do it. I love Passion and Whisper, so that's what this is in here. Really, really beautiful smell. So Whisper is a blend of patchouli, bergamot, Hawaiian sandalwood, rose, vanilla, jasmine, cinnamon, vetiver, labdanum, cocoa seed, and lang lang. It's one that smells a little bit different on everyone. They have our own unique chemistry, and it's just absolutely divine. And then combined with the Passion is really gorgeous. So that's a blend of cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, cloves, sandalwood, jasmine, vanilla, and damiana. And just so anyone that smells that combination is just like, oh my god, this is absolutely amazing. So another way to make perfume is to make it with an oil base. So like getting a 10 ml roller. You can get little roller bottles like this. So this is 10 mils, and then you've got a little roller on the top, and you can just push that in. So all you would do here is just fill up, again, up to about here with some fractionated coconut oil or a carrier oil of your choice. And then again, just put your essential oils of choice in. So another nice choice might be, say, Balance and Elevation. So Balance is the grounding blend and can help you with anxious feelings and help you feel just really grounded and stable. And then Elevation is the joyful blend. So you've got a really nice range there of feeling really grounded and feeling really uplifted. And I find blending the oils that way can give you, really nice emotional benefits as well. So that's these ones, Balance and Elevation. A lot of people I know love this combination as a perfume or perfume, we would call it. So yeah, the roller bottles, I then just literally can have them in my handbag. I can roll them all over my arms or over my neck or over my pulse points, anywhere that's accessible while you're out. If you want to use oils, before you get ready, so you cover more of your body, you can do something called aromatic dressing. So that's where we literally give ourselves a full body moisturize using the oils. So you can get a little beautiful bowl like this, a little wooden bowl. You again just pour your carrier oil, so your fractionated coconut oil, into the bowl. Choose whichever oils feel right for you that day, and just dip it in and just rub all over your body. And it's really nice to give yourself like positive affirmations while you're doing that, so you really feel the love of the oils and the love of yourself, and really enjoy using the oils in that way. Another way to smell really beautiful using them as a perfume is to use aromatherapy jewelry. So you can use clay necklaces or lava bead bracelets like these. So these little beads here are lava. They're very porous. So if you just put a drop on there, it can really just carry that smell around with you all day, which is really gorgeous. And the other thing I just really like to do is just place a drop in my hand. So I might get something like the wild orange, which smells incredible. Just a drop. And then I just rub it in my hand. And then I literally just put it, you probably can't see, but I just put it on my hair ends, so it keeps them really moist. And I'm just carrying that smell with me all day, and I love the feel of that, and it just, yeah, it really nourishes my hair whilst also being able to have that smell with me all day long. So yeah, I really recommend getting yourself the Emotions and Essential Oils book, so you can really combine the gorgeous smells of the oils, but really start to understand what they can do for you emotionally. So that's called Emotions and Essential Oils, and it's available on Aromatools. So if you're in Australia, au.aromatools.com, and so worth it. It's got a new cover. It looks slightly different now. That's the older version. So yeah, the oils have a really, really powerful effect on your mood, and it can really help you with the way you feel all day long, basically. So my last little top tip is how to make ant repellent. So a lot of people have an ant issue, especially around Queensland, and peppermint, basically ants absolutely hate it. Where's my peppermint? So you can do with it however you really like. It's really easy just to get, say, a little cotton wool pad and just put one drop on there, and then just go and just dab that around where they come in. I had a gorgeous lady I was running a class for, and she had an ant problem on her pool fence, and all these ants were crawling along every single panel of her fence, and she just wiped along the top of one of the glass panels, and you could see where the ants were crawling along, and then for that panel they walked all the way down to the ground, across the ground and up the next post to avoid the peppermint that she just wiped along that one panel. So it's really effective. You can also make a little spray of it, so you can get these are like $2 sprays from Kmart. Just again, fill it up with some filtered water, and you can just spray it around if it's a bigger area, or flies don't like peppermint either, so you can spray that on your fly screens, and that will stop them sort of hanging around your door when you're trying to get in and out. So they're my little tips. I hope that's helpful.
Awesome, thank you, Alison. There's a few more things that I want to talk about. One is hand sanitizer, because there's a really toxic chemical called triclosan in commercial hand sanitizers, and products that are basically any product that's labeled as antibacterial, such as hand soaps, hand gels, etc., will have an aggressive antimicrobial agent, and there is concern that its extensive use in consumer products is contributing to antibiotic-resistant bacteria and therefore limiting treatment options for microbial infections. So the United States Environmental Protection Agency is currently investigating whether triclosan may also disrupt endocrine hormonal function, and recent research also suggests that triclosan is probable carcinogen, which is cancer-causing, basically. So the Canadian Medical Association has actually called for a ban on antibacterial consumer products, and the European Union classifies triclosan as irritating to the skin and eyes and is very toxic to aquatic organisms. So noting that it may cause long-term adverse effects in the aquatic environment. Yeah, if you just want to Google triclosan, there's now even more, a myriad of research and calls for ban, worldwide, basically. So we at doTERRA sell an Onguard hand sanitizing mist. So obviously there's no triclosan in this, and it will help purify hands by eliminating bacteria and other germs on the skin. And it's also super moisturizing. So you may notice if you're using normal hand sanitizer that it strips your hands, makes them super dry. Don't know if you've ever been in hospitals and medical environments and they force you to use that, but my hands are always cracked, dry, red, and irritated after using it. And again, it's quite dangerous. So this has just got ethyl alcohol, which is antiseptic, and then it's just got our Onguard immune blend in here. So you literally just spray it on your hands and then rub your hands together, and it's actually super moisturizing. So if I'm flying or traveling or just anywhere, out and about, carry this in my handbag. If I have to use a public bathroom, I'm not going to use that highly colored toxic soap on my hands or on my kids' hands. So I just carry the Onguard hand sanitizer to use out and about. Another super toxic thing is actually when you buy it commercially is insect repellent. So Alison mentioned using the peppermint to get rid of ants and flies and that kind of thing. But what about on our bodies, like for mosquitoes and other insects? Especially where I live in Queensland, they're rife. So if we go camping or traveling, or even just in our own home and we're sitting out on the balcony to watch the sun go down, we use the Terra Armor or Terra Shield if you order it from America, insect repellent. So what's toxic in the commercial ones, particularly, there's a whole range of toxic ingredients, but the worst one is called DEET, D-E-E-T, and it's found to be like highly toxic, especially for pregnant women, fetuses, children, animals. And yeah, it's linked with really full-on stuff. So this is just literally a blend of essential oils. It's got just diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and it has ylang-ylang, tamanu, nootka, cedarwood, catnip, lemon eucalyptus, litsea, vanilla bean, and arbor vitae. And it's super effective. I've tested this, you know, camping where you've got full-on mosquitoes everywhere. And again, it's just a spray on, and it's actually super moisturizing for the skin, and I really love the smell of it. So sometimes I actually use Terra Armor or Terra Shield as a perfume. It smells really nice, or even as a deodorant. I've used it for that as well. Yeah, and again, not toxic. I use this on my kids without, you know, worrying. I remember being sprayed with that like toxic bug can spray when I was a kid and just sneezing and like feeling really irritated by it. So we've got alternatives for that. And this is stuff that's pre-made. So if you're like me and pretty slack with the old DIY, there's plenty of pre-made stuff that you can be buying to make a real difference in your home already. We've also got the Onguard foaming hand wash. So this is a really good low tox alternative. And we sell the pumps as well. So you can actually put them in the pump and it comes out with a proper foaming hand wash. So that's an awesome alternative. There's also the Onguard cleaner concentrate, and you can use this for things like washing dishes. You can also use it in multi-purpose cleaner. You just mix 30 mils with a liter of water. You can use this to clean bathrooms, or you can actually apply the concentrate directly on a designated area and let soak. You do want to avoid direct use of concentrate on hardwood floors and natural stone though, just to note that. We also do sell the Onguard laundry detergent. And one thing that I like to do with that is add a couple of drops of Purify. I think Alison mentioned that as well as a really fantastic fabric softener. It actually does soften the fabric as well as smell really good and get rid of any of the nasties in your sheets and towels and stuff. So that's a really great alternative. One of my other favorite products is the Onguard cleansing and also whitening toothpaste. There's no fluoride in this toothpaste, which I love. I avoid fluoride, and it also doesn't have things like sodium lauryl sulfate. That's a massive one that you'll see in things like shampoo, conditioner, skin care products, hair care, etc. So this is, yeah, just another low tox version that you can be replacing, you know, your commercial brands with. And actually, when I first tried this toothpaste, I was a bit alarmed by the Onguard flavor because it's got the clove and cinnamon and stuff, and you're kind of more used to the maybe pepperminty flavors of toothpaste. But I got really used to it and I really love it and cannot stand using any other toothpaste now. And I actually have found it's whitened my teeth. Excuse my bogan gappy teeth, but at least they're white, which is good. So we also do have the shampoo and conditioner. The Virage skincare collection that we have as well in our range is really beautiful, natural plants, super natural. I love the Virage cleanser in particular. But yeah, we've got a full range that has the mist, and I like mixing a little bit of the moisturizer with some of the serum and just using that at night. And in the day, I just use the moisturizer without the serum, especially in Queensland. It's a bit too overpowering in humid weather, but yeah, plenty of natural alternatives. So if you don't yet have a doTERRA account, you can open one up. Basically, I would recommend obviously going back to the person that introduced you. So if Alison Bartolo shared this webinar with you, please contact her. If Amy shared it with you, please contact her. If someone else that's into the essential oils, like a friend or someone on Facebook, shared this webinar with you, go back to them. If you found out about it through me, obviously, yeah, send me a message or jump on my website, which is getafreshstart.com.au, and we can help you get started with your essential oils. Basically, you just get your own wholesale account, and that way you get wholesale prizes. You get all this stuff drop shipped to your door. You can take advantage of really amazing rewards when you purchase on an ongoing basis, which is totally optional. But basically, it's all stuff you're buying anyway. You're buying the commercial toxic version of already from the chemist or supermarket. So why not support, you know, farmers globally, support Australian wellness advocates or wherever you're getting them from worldwide, and be buying stuff that's good for the environment, not damaging our immune systems, good for our kids, good for our own health. Yeah, and really actually works better than the commercial products. That was the thing that shocked me. I was like, using natural stuff is all right, but does it actually work? And I found that this works 10 million times better. Like putting a couple of drops of lime or lemon in your dishwasher, like Amy mentioned, and then getting out your glassware and actually seeing how sparkly it is. Clove essential oil is really good at getting rid of mold. Like there is literally something for everything in your home. There is actually a book you can buy from au.aromatools.com all about cleaning and going toxin free. So you can jump online and buy that. What else was I going to say there? You can even put cedarwood essential oil on cotton wool balls and put that in your wardrobe to protect from moths and the like, from eating your clothes. So that literally is something for pretty much everything. I've just got one more thing I want to cover. Whoops. Opened way too many tabs. Sorry, bear with me. Deodorant as well. You can literally, one thing I've been doing for those of you in Australia, I've been literally putting a drop or two of Manuka, or some people say Manuka, but the Maori people actually call it Manuka essential, and just putting that under my arms, and I find that works all day long. And also body wash. So you might have heard at the beginning Amy talking about using the Dr. Bronner's Castile Soap. So I use that. I just buy the whole bottle and then I just take off the lid and I put 5 drops of grapefruit and 5 drops of Douglas fir in that. A couple of years ago, they released this limited edition body wash with that combo and I was obsessed with it. So, and then I just shake up the Castile soap and then it's infused with the essential oils and smells amazing. You can actually make your own dishwashing tablets as well. You just use 1 cup of baking soda, a 1/4 cup of citric acid, and a tablespoon of the doTERRA Onguard cleaner concentrate, and then just 5 drops grapefruit or lime essential oil. Basically, put them all together, mix them in a mixing bowl until it's even consistency, and then you place in little silicone molds like basically an ice tray and let that sit for 4 hours, remove the tabs and store them in an airtight container, and you can use them in your dishwasher. And then again, you can put lemon or lime in the rinse aid section. So yeah, there's heaps of stuff you can do. We could literally go on all day, but I think that gives you a pretty good idea of some awesome recipes to get started. As Amy mentioned, no need to get overwhelmed and freak out. Just start replacing whatever feels good. You know, if you're like me, maybe that's just buying a non-toxic insect repellent as your first port of call and just going from there. I also love, again, getting the Wild Essence recipe labels, because then I've got the label, I've got the recipe, I know exactly how to make it. But I'm also like Amy and just whack in like water, vinegar, a couple of drops of that, good enough, shake it, good to go. So literally anyone can do this. It doesn't have to be like this gruesome, painful task. It smells amazing. It's super easy for anyone to do. It's way cheaper, like water, vinegar, super cheap ingredients, and lemon essential oil. When you're using 10 drops, it's like, what, 2 cents or something. So yeah, totally awesome, and protecting the environment and your own health. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate our diamond leaders, Amy and Alison, being with us tonight, sharing their recipes, sharing their wisdom, and making it super easy to go low tox. So have a great night, guys. Thank you. Bye.